welcome to Lab Rats. My name is Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
And today on the show, we are going to do a little summer digging inside the computer. Somebody said to me, hey, what's that thing called the Registry? So I thought,
Isn't that thing on the floor that blows hot air out? It's really sweltering in here.
I know, as you can tell, we're all sweaty here in the middle of July. So what a good time to talk about the Windows Registry. So before we get to it, let's take a look at this message. So the registry. Now, I guess it's one of the big mysteries of Windows, don't you think?
Yeah, a lot of people hear about the registry, but they never actually see it. And it's a big, mysterious, baffling, and dangerous thing.
It can be. I mean, essentially what it is, imagine the filing cabinet sitting in your dad's office or your kid's office or wherever you happen to keep your filing cabinet. I mean, that releases a digital version that keeps control of all of the information, all of the settings inside Windows. So I'm going to take you inside it today. Now, many viewers may have seen this before, but this is a kind of a refresher for you guys. Now, I will warn you, if you're a beginner and you've never been inside the registry before, I'm going to recommend that you do not take this task lightly.
No.
One misstep and you can cause huge amounts of problems. Windows may not boot, programs may not run, things like that. So actually, before we even get into the registry, let me show you really quickly what to do just to safeguard that. We're going to take you into the accessories menu of Windows, and I want to show you something called System Restore. This is a really good program because what it does is it'll take a system back from a point in time to settings before something happens. So we're going to set a restore point today before we start digging into the registry, just to make sure that if we do make a mistake, we can go back to it. So let me just go into all programs here.
I think a lot of people don't actually deal with System Restore at all, let alone when they go into the registry. So it's always a good idea to set at least one System Restore point to make sure that you have a safety point to go back to.
That's right. I mean, in some cases, actually, the Windows XP default, and I think actually even Windows ME, will set you an automatic System Restore once a day anyway, unless you've disabled that. So it means that you can go back to any day and time. But because you're doing lots of things during the day, if you, let's say, you do all kinds of changes to your system and you play around with it, and then you mess with your registry at night, you're going to go back to the day before, perhaps. That might be the most recent restore point. So before we even start, let's just set a restore point. And as you can see here, there's two options here. One's create a restore point, so we're going to choose that. And the option that's automatically selected is restore my computer to an earlier time.
So this is as soon as you've already messed up and you need to fix it.
That's right, and that's where you would go to restore it. So let's click next here just to create a restore point. We're going to call it Before I Messed with the Registry.
Nice spelling there.
Oops.
We can live with that.
We can live with that.
Correct, just go.
And I'm going to say create. So what it'll do, it'll just create an item here, and in a calendar inside the restore point or the system restore area.
There we go.
There you go, and it's all set up.
I told you not to correct it because I actually wanted that memorialized forever.
Because I can't type on the fly, exactly. Now, if we go back into restore my computer to an earlier time, click next now. You'll see, actually, there it is, before I messed with the registry. All misspelt, but that was what you do, and you choose that, click next, and the system's going to have to reset it to the way it was, and then you'll have to reboot and it'll be back to the way it was before.
And you can see other dates earlier in July there where they have other points there.
My birthday, for example, July 4th. Nobody sent me any cards or any email, but oh well.
Wow.
Okay. All right, so let's cancel out of that because that's just a quick safeguard before we get into it. Now, there's the way you're going to get into the registry program, which is called regedit or registry editor, is by clicking start, going to...
Yeah, there we go.
Right at the bottom, here we go. And it's already typed for me, but R-E-G-E-D-I-T. So when I click this, and you can't really get to this, I think, from anywhere else in Windows XP, can you?
I'm not 100% sure.
I don't think you can. So here we go, here's the registry editor, and essentially what it is just, it looks like a bunch of folders. So as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas here. Now, let's each one, you can think of each one of these like a filing cabinet drawer. So let's start with the HKey classes root. HKey classes root is a place where a lot of software settings are kept. So for example, if you install Adobe Photoshop Elements, like my friend MJ did recently, all the settings for that will actually go inside this area here. And as you see, things are actually stored in subfolders from there. and they're done in what's called name value pairs. So you can go in here, and as you see, you click on the item, you right click, and you can say modify, and you'll actually see the setting. Now this is kind of weird binary, but some stuff is actually user readable.
Mm-hmm. This is one of the reasons why you shouldn't treat the registry very lightly. It's a bunch of cryptic stuff in there, and you just start changing things or deleting keys or anything like that, you can really mess things up.
Absolutely. Here. Now this is a good place. HKey class's root will also keep the it's the associations between which program opens specific file extensions. So your .doc file would be associated with Microsoft Word, for example, in this area.
Let's go to WMV.
Oh, WMV. Okay.
That's right down there on the bottom. So this is a Windows Media video.
There we go.
So some of you are watching us in Windows Media, so now we'll see what it says. So you see in there,
click,
and in the main list there, you've got default WMV file. So I will explain what it is. Content type.
Content type, right? And then receive type is video.
Right.
Now the open with list. Actually, there's nothing. Is there anything set in here? Yeah. See, WM Player, which is actually Windows Media Player, is the default program here that you can use to open WMV files.
Right. So if you ever ran into a situation where it was trying to open with the wrong thing, you could theoretically edit it in that little section there.
Yeah, not recommended, but certainly something that... it's
a last resort.
It's a last resort. And once you get to know the registry, if you become an expert, you can certainly... It's very powerful if you know your way around inside it. Okay, let's get on to the next couple of items here. HKey current user. Now that's... HKey current user is actually you. Mm-hmm. When you are logged into the system, this is where all your personal settings are. So if my user account is called Andy, then this will be where all of my files are, all of my settings and that sort of thing. Now, if I log out and Sean logs in, suddenly HKey current user becomes Sean's settings. And so it will load dynamically. In fact, it loads dynamically from the HKey users. So let's say there's a Sean user on the system, an Andy user, and a Biff and a Boo, for example, then they will all be kept there, and HKey current user is the one that's loaded depending on who is logged in at any given time. The other thing that you want to have a look at here, and this is sort of the most interesting, is HKey local machine. Now this is settings for the machine. So for all your hardware and all your software. And if you ever have, for example, spyware or a virus, very often what will happen is it will install itself in an obscure folder inside the software folder here. But as you can see, all the programs that I've installed on this machine, Macromedia, Mozilla, those kinds of things, are all the settings that are set in here.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, all of the Windows settings are in here somewhere as well, under Software, Microsoft Windows.
That's right, yeah. Let's see if we can get down there to Software.
I believe it's under the Microsoft.
Yeah.
And there's a number of keys on your registry that will look the same, and that's one thing that's really worth mentioning here, is that you'll find the same keys, or what look like the same keys, under several different sections here.
Some redundancy built into
Some
the
redundancy,
system.
right. So if a virus may install itself in several places, so if you get it once, you might have to get it out of several other places, or it'll just reinstall itself.
Right. Now, and finally, the last folder worth looking at is actually HKey current config, and actually you don't have to really worry about that too much because it only has information from a current session, so it actually purges itself. So it's just being used currently while you're logged in. When you log out, it gets cleared out, and there's no more settings left on that.
I didn't know that.
They did. So let's close out Registry Editor, because of course ideally you don't want to be spending a whole lot of time in the Registry Editor. You want to be using a program that will help clean out items. Now the registry will get bogged down after a while, won't it?
It will?
Yeah. What tends to happen is you install programs, you uninstall them, sometimes they're not perfect at removing all the elements and that sort of thing, and it can cause what kind of problems?
It'd just be very flaky. The system may do things that you're not expecting it to.
Right.
It may load up a whole pile of garbage on startup that is not necessary.
Right. So the idea is that you really want to clean out your registry once in a while with an automatically registry editor. We recommend, actually, I've got one free one that I'll show you in a second, and two paid ones. One's called Registry Booster, which I quite like because it's really easy to use. Let me just open it up here real quick. It's made by a company called Uniblue. I think it runs at about $25-35 somewhere in there, and it's just simply a scan, click to start scan. It'll scan all the key areas that have garbage in them, look for them, and then remove them. You can see the link on our show notes today. Actually, in the episode area, you'll see a couple of links there. It'll take you to the Registry Booster here.
Yeah, it's already found some problems for us. 5 problems.
There you go. And so to clean this, all I want to do is you want to basically going to choose the cleaning. Actually, it'll give me a button to clean in a second. Oh, there we go.
16 problems.
Right, so repair registry. Now, if you're uncertain of whether it should be cleaning these things, you would create a backup, for example, to restore your registry later on. One other thing that I want to show you real quick, and that is, where has it gone? Registry cleaner, there you go. Again, a slightly different, Registry Cleaner does something very similar, and I think it's pretty good as well. I mean, try them both out, see which one you like. I think this one's actually slightly cheaper. Clean My PC is a little cheaper than your Registry Booster, but slightly different configuration. And if you don't want to spend any money at all, then there's a really good program called Reg Seeker.
That last one it looked like it had a trial version, so you could try before.
They both do.
Yeah.
They both do. Yeah. There we go.
And
again, this is free. It's you can download it. We'll put the link as well into the show notes where you can find that. And this is kind of fun because it gives you the ability to sort of tweak the registry too. There's a tweak function there, and you can have a registry cleaner. Not quite as effective, I think, as the paid versions, but certainly, given that it's free, it's worthwhile.
Yeah, we did a bit of testing a while back on these, and they do clean out the crunch. If you're expecting a huge performance boost, you're probably not going to find it from that, but it will prevent things from going wrong, at the very least.
Right. So you would recommend one of these things as a regular sort of clean out tool?
It couldn't hurt. I said if you're looking for performance, I don't recommend it for that reason alone. But yeah, if you want to keep things as clean as possible, definitely, it's worthwhile.
Good. All right. So some final thoughts. I know that we had sent out some questions, emails, and asked people whether they wanted to see, whether they thought AMD or Intel was better. What was the resounding vote?
There was no resounding vote up until this point. I think in general people were leaning towards AMD. I think a lot of our fans are enthusiasts in that regard. But a lot of people that even said AMD were saying, the Intel chips that are coming out these days are looking good, especially on the notebook side. So, I think it's about even up. But I think definitely the enthusiasts by far go towards AMD.
Well, and I think the enthusiasts will tend to email us, whereas people that just go out and buy a Dell with an Intel chip in it, I'm not going to send those guys an email. Before we go, I wanted to mention we managed to track down a couple of coupons if you're interested in Registry Booster or Clean My PC Registry Editor. We'll put them up on the screen right here, but Registry Booster is RATS, XCXU, and we'll put a link to where you can use that on the episode page and also in the show notes. And Clean My PC is RATS, P2BR. And with that, I think we'll say goodbye. Biff actually joined us here. Some people have been saying, hey, where's Biff and Boo lately? And they've been kind of missing lately because I guess there's been a lot of commotion here and they kind of get frightened away by all the new bodies in here.
Talking about those boxes in the back, this is one of our last episodes here in this location.
Oh, it is, yeah. I'm moving. So probably in an episode you'll see real soon. We'll be in my new place, and we'll show you that. Well, that's it for us. If you want to send us feedback, you can email us at
feedback@librats.tv.
And thanks for downloading today. I'm Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
And we'll see you next time.
Are you ready?
Let's open up Windows.
Actually, Maurice, I've got to talk, and since you're pretending to be me now, you've got to move your mouth in time with it.
Okay, let's try that.
So here we are today at Lab Rats, and we're going to be talking about Registry and bing bang 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 bing bang bang bong.
Why is your arm wet?
Because it's all sweaty.
Oh, that's nasty.
It is nasty. All right, I think we're ready to go. Let's not waste more tape.